All right. So, we're going to react to the... I haven't watched this video yet of Foxy's, right? And since he exposed himself recently as being giant fucking Mortal Kombat nerd, right? I think it's our due diligence to further expose this man by seeing what he has to say about one of the greatest announcements of all time. Listen, man. Real men cry. Real men cry when Mortal Kombat gets announced. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Right. Anyway, let's watch it. Let's go.
Alright.
We knew pretty early.
So we're gonna go back and watch what just happened, yeah. So they just announced Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. It says MK1, 2, 3, 4, and more. So we're coping on the more. Hold on, we're coping on the more, hoping it could be like Deadly Alliance and Deception.
Listen, man. Listen. This is my territory, right? So this is relax, right? We're not giving you the 3D era just yet, right? You can have your biscuits later, okay? Right? No, listen. Like, logically to me, I don't think they're gonna put him in there, right? Logically, it makes more sense for them to release a big, massive. Because think about it like this, right? What's been the entire focus of this entire trailer? It's all been 2D gameplay, right? And they have had, yeah, but what about the handheld Game Boy Advance version of the Deadly Alliance, right? Yeah, but again, the Deadly Alliance version, right, is kind of like that was like the pity version. You know what I'm saying, right? It's like, well, all right, I guess, you know, the big boys are over here with the big toys like Deadly Alliance and Deception Army. Yeah, we'll give you this. Yeah, we'll give you some scraps. Basically, kind of what it is, right? Because the reason for that is that because the PS2 and the Xbox was all kicking off, right? But obviously the handhelds were still around, so they still kind of wanted to give the handheld something. But at the same time, because they're so dated, they kind of fit more with the Legacy Collection visually than they would in, say, a true 3D era. I mean, if all they put in the 3D collection, like the Dada Collection, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, Shaolin Monks, right? The Wii version of Armageddon as well, right? So you either choose Xbox or PS2 for the base, and then have a Wii version as well. Mortal Kombat Unchanged, which from memory, because I never owned it, which was the PSP MK Deception version. And if anyone can remember anything else. So I've seen a lot of people, a lot of the 3D era fan base think that somehow they're going to announce more. Now, I could be completely wrong. But we have always specifically stated 2D era, 3D era, and then essentially the NRS era. So let's go.
We'll check it out anyway.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
We knew that we were onto something.
It was.
It's not by NetherRealm.
I was like, I can't believe this game exists.
This is like a and more. Yeah, and more could be like
It became something that added to the
handheld versions that they're talking about.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
Ow.
1, 2, 3, 4. Don't see anything else in there. Arcade, console, and handheld editions. Online with rollback is huge.
the game.
Yeah.
It's a bit of the Wild West.
I know somebody said in his chat, it's not PlayStation exclusive. It's on Steam right now. You can go wishlist it. I believe it's on every single platform. Right? So go out there and wishlist that shit.
Every part of that game is an expression
This is the goated picture. This is a fucking goated picture right here.
of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. That's this year as well. Oh, and they got another trailer. Let's check out the other trailer.
I think it's the same.
Is it the same?
Yeah, it's the same trailer.
Early on,
Yeah, it's the same
game
trailer.
was
It's nothing
fun to
different.
play. People were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
We knew that we
So, yeah.
did something.
I think the trailer's also the same.
It was such a shock to see this game. I was like, I can't.
No Xbox release. But it says captured on PS5. It doesn't say that it's not on Xbox.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
Guys, wait, Fate is on PC, ripped him. Nah, bro, it's on PC. No rippy, right? No rippy.
Yeah, okay, so this is the same thing unless they change it up at the end. Arcade console, handheld. Now, who's going to be playing like
There was no template to make the games.
Game Boy Advance MK Online on rollback netcode? Who's going to
Don't be doing that, bro. Come on, listen, man. Right, they're gonna. That's the superior version in this collection. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we can.
be the sickest Scorpion on Game Boy Advance?
Part of that game is an expression.
Wait, is this? Does this mean something? Does this mean something right here? Do you think that means something?
What we wanted to
I do. Dude, I fucking hope it does. I hope it does, man.
do.
Flawless victory.
So anyway, I mean that could mean something. Let's have a look at this over here. So right, we've got Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is coming later this year. The digital Eclipse compilation contains arcade, console, and handheld versions of Mortal Kombat 1 to 4. That's what I'm saying. What's the and more? So
Trilogy, MK Gold, Mythologies, and Special Forces.
Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is set for release later this year. 1 through 4 and more. It will include the arcade, console, and handheld versions of each game. Online play with rollback netcode will also be included. So now, because at the minute you can only play these games online through Parsec or Fightcade.
Yeah.
Fair enough, the Fightcade netcode is really good, but it's not a very
It's not, yeah, it's not
public
super
to know
user.
about Fightcade. You got to be a fighting game nerd to know about Fightcade.
Yeah, it's not user
Back to the
friendly.
arena where it all began.
It's not. Yeah, it's not super user friendly. Like my version is. If anyone's interested in Fightcade, join the Discord. There's a Fightcade section. My version that you can download actually will access what you need, rather than you having to try and figure out where to put it, which is what you normally have to do.
Yeah. So this is.
But he's right. He's right. Yeah.
See, it's from the acclaimed restoration team at Digital Eclipse. So it's a historical archive of the franchise's origins. 20 different versions of the legendary games. 20 different versions.
Combat crackhead, bro.
20 different versions. All right, okay. You know what we should do? We should look up what. Hold on, let me find. I was gonna say look up and see what.
Fucking Mortal Kombat crackhead, bro.
By the way, if Foxy Grandpa or any in his community watch this video, can somebody explain to me the camel lore? Because I tell you what, man, there's some real familiar, you know what I'm saying, interactions happening with them camels. I just need to know. Shit makes me giggle, but I just need to know.
See what games they've released, and then we might be able to figure it out. So, there are 20 different versions of the game.
By the way, they're not doubling up. So I said this earlier. That like there's a Master System version of MK1 and 2, but they're not putting them in. Right? They're using the Game Gear versions, which I'm assuming might be slightly superior. I don't know, but they're using the Game Gear versions instead. So that's fine. Like you won't notice any difference.
Should have the fights, blah blah blah. Okay, right. There we go. Mortal Kombat games, right? We got 1, 2, 3, UMK3, 4, Trilogy, 5, 4, makes 6. Then what is between like these? It's got what between up to 4 they said and more, but 4 was 97, and then the more has got to be
Gold. You literally. Listen, man. Like, you're literally skipping past it. The more, I guarantee. Listen, there's 2 big hitters in this list right in front of you. You got Gold and you got Trilogy. All right. If they come out like closer to release or later in the year and they go, by the way, here's our trailer, you know, for what the more is, right? I guarantee you it's going to be those. There's no way these guys are going to just not put 4 and Gold in there. Gold and Trilogy in there when they are actually including home versions.
after that. There ain't even 20. It's 20 games.
It's the variations, bro. Right, so Mortal Kombat 1, there was like they're not obviously putting the PC versions in, unless they put the PC version in a trilogy, because that's the actual superior version. There's no point putting in MK1, MK2, MK3 PC because we have the arcade, right? It's too close, right? But there are some pretty significant differences and roster sizes. For example, in MK1, between the arcade, obviously the Genesis Mega Drive matched the arcade in terms of roster size, but obviously the graphics, then the Game Gear version as well. And I think, was it just the 3? Oh, sorry, and the Super NES, yeah, and the Super NES, right? So that's 4. Is that so? Super NES, Mega Drive, Genesis, Game Gear, and arcade, right? That's 4 already. That's 4 already.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Does this mean they're going all the way up to MK9?
No, listen, man, don't brick me up like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to me. I've already had a big happy day, right? There's only so much blood flow I can send in the southern direction. But like, no, it's going to be the variations. Listen, if you fucking people paid attention to my channel properly for the last year and a half, 2 years, you know I've been talking about this shit. I manifested this into reality. Right? Look at, like, so it shows on screen, right, but it doesn't really go into detail. It shows there for, say, MK4, PS1, N64, Windows version, right? But obviously, the best version is the arcade version. Like, there's no need to have the home versions of MK4 if they gave us MK Gold. Right? Because it even states there, upgraded version of MK4. So you'll get the arcade original, right? You don't need the arcade home, like you don't need MK4 at home, because if they get us Gold, we're good to go. Right? So that's one version, right? And then with Trilogy, we definitely need the N64 version and at least one of the CD versions. Right, because on the PC, like back then, like it was still CD, right? So we had Trilogy on PC, on CD on PC, and of course on PS1 and Saturn. So they're gonna have to choose. I still recommend the PC version because it is the superior version in terms of like loading and everything like that. Right now, obviously, like I'd have to check my emulators because I don't know if there's still like a load on the Shang Tsung morphs, because that was an option you could turn on or off. But I mean, the worst thing they could do is just only give us the N64 version. But I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't know what that means, because they ain't got 20 games. They ain't got 20 games, have they? Let's look.
Variations. It's just the different versions that they brought out, bro.
Game. I don't think there's Mortal Kombat Advanced. It was not on this list. So we got what's not on that list that would fit in that section would be
Trilogy.
uh
How? I think he's doing this on purpose. He knows that I'm going to react to the video, and he's purposely ignoring Trilogy. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Mortal Kombat Gold, right?
Motherfucker! Dude! Trilogy! They haven't announced Trilogy! Why you do me like that, bro? Why you do me like that? Right?
So what was that? Wasn't it like 6 or 8 or something at that point? So Mortal Kombat Gold.
Up.
Maybe we could have Special Forces on there. Who knows about that? Advanced, right? This is the handheld.
Yeah.
There's like one handheld game in there. Tournament edition. Okay, so it's Deadly Alliance for the Game Boy Advance. So if they're talking about handheld versions, oh, I don't know. Maybe they'll do the 3D games.
No.
They're talking about 20 versions, aren't they?
No. I'd be very surprised.
Versions of the legendary games, arcade console and handheld. It's barely over 20. So
Oh, let me see if I can find the PlayStation blog. Right. I'll help you out, bro. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Right. Fate is on the way. Is this it? All right, here we go. I got you, bro. I got you. Right? Yeah. Nah. Right, check this out, right? So let's get out the calculator. Right. So Mortal Kombat, we've got Game Boy version too. I forgot about that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 immediately. Straight up. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. Straight up. Then we have 3 there for MK3 plus 3. That's 13 now. 2 for Ultimate. So they're not having the Mega Drive in there. I wonder why. I'm assuming the SNES one was superior. So we're already at 15. We're already at 15. Right. MK4. 16. Game Boy Advance. 17. Game Boy Advance. So that was Mortal Kombat Advance, then Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Right. 18. Right. And then Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition, which is 19. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's it. Like, that's yeah, that's it. Right? Easy peasy.
what do you reckon?
Listen, like, I'm not to give them ideas, but like, they would be a lot smarter to do it in these packages, right? Because then you'll, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, they don't show 3D gameplay. Not even a little bit. And it would really break it. Because if you put in, like, any of the 3D era stuff, and you don't include Trilogy and Gold, I will fucking lose my mind, and not in a good way. Happy Fate will go to Sad Fate real quick, right? So it's in their best interest not to vex me, right? But since, like, seriously though, like, they're not going to leave Trilogy out. They're not going to leave Gold out. Trilogy in on itself is 2 versions, right? So if they're saying over 20 games, that's 2 versions right there. N64 and the CD version of whichever they choose. And then we've got MK Gold. That's 3. That's 3 games. Now, they could add in as a bonus, like a pre-order bonus, that you'll get Mythologies and Special Forces, which I know isn't much of a, You go, but like to a collector like me, an MK fan, yeah, I'd be pre-ordering that motherfucking shit straight up, right? But I guarantee you they're in there. Can't believe you forget Trilogy, man. See, what are you doing over there on Twitch, bro? Like,
MK3 had 1 billion ports. Let's have a look. Have a look at the MK3's.
no. MK1 had 1 billion ports. Maybe MK3, but MK1 and MK2, like, dude, like that shit went everywhere. They went everywhere because like the Saturn, I don't think ever got MK3. I don't think it ever got MK3. I could be wrong. Right? It got Ultimate MK3. Right?
I don't think there's enough to make it like 20 though, is there? There's MK3, UMK3, MK Trilogy.
I just mathed it. I just mathed it. I just mathed it.
On the console. Maybe there was right, the only way that I could think they could do 20, like 20 is you got like the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, see, it's saying there featuring over different 20 versions of the legendary games. Yeah. So what's a version of the MK3 series trilogy? What's a version of MK4 Gold? Right? It's just that those are big heavy hitters. That's why they're like in their blog post. They're like, oh, we're still keeping some secrets. So it's gonna be game related, man. And they listed the question marks like in the blog post here. They're here under the games part. Right here. What's next? Well, Mortal Kombat is all about secrets, so we hope you don't mind if we keep a few of our own for now. Yeah, it's gonna be them, bro. It's 100% gonna be them.
Nintendo, whatever else, they're all different, aren't they? Maybe they'll do it like that, so that every game's got like 3 different versions.
Yep.
That'd be the only way, wouldn't it? And then there's like a couple of handheld in there.
Yeah, because if you load up like, particularly back in those days where you really got quite very, you know, noticeable differences between them. For example, you load up MK2 SNES versus the Mega Drive. MK2 SNES sounds better. It's got brighter colors. You know, you could argue it looks better. Like, yeah, I not argue. Like, it definitely looks better. But the Mega Drive Genesis version of MK2 was arcade perfect in terms of gameplay, right? So the actual AI acted exactly like the arcade. I could go from the home version to the arcade with whatever techniques I'd learnt, and it would just work straight up. With the SNES version, and I always knew this, right? With the SNES version, it's not the exact AI, because if it goes round 1 fight and the character jumps away, it's not arcade accurate. The MK2 AI never, ever jumps backwards. Ever. Right? So that was a modification that they did.
I want to
Not to mention too, I'd have to double check, but I have a feeling that you can use Scorpion's spear, like Harpoon, straight up on people. And you go, that's crazy. What are you talking about, you fucking bald idiot? Well, I'll make it really simple. In MK2, certain special moves would immediately be blocked. Right? It's almost impossible for some of the special moves to actually connect. Right? You have to put Scorpion's spear inside of a combo. Right? So a jump kick, crossover kick, harpoon, uppercut. Right? Or if you're doing like punches and then throw it in there, then you'll get them. But they are never hit. Or if they throw their harpoon and you duck or block it and then throw it back, and if you've got enough time while they're still out there, you can grab them. No. Like, there are certain special moves that you will never hit the AI. They will never allow you to hit it by you just standing there and throwing it out and hitting them. It's the same, I think, with Sub-Zero's freeze, actually. I don't think Sub-Zero's freeze can actually, like... I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that can't hit either. Reptile Spit does, Reptile's Force Balls does. You know, most of the other casts, their special moves will hit. But some of these, it's almost like the moves, for example, like the freeze or the harpoon, because they're disabling moves, like they essentially like a disabling / stun, so it puts you in a state to get a free hit. It's almost like they made sure that those ones would not allow you just to be able to, you know, out in the open, just throw it and hit them with it. You've got to kind of embed it within some other techniques. You can get it. You can get like you know you can get them with the ice puddle, right? Or you could get them say with the leg takedown with a Scorpion or Sub-Zero with the ice puddle, and the slide. But there are some moves that the AI will simply just it will not play ball. It will never fucking do it. And I'm pretty sure on the SNES you could actually harpoon motherfuckers straight up. I'd have to double check. Somebody can check for me if you you know, get around to doing it before I, you know, come back and tell everyone that, yeah, they can, you know, you can or can't do it. But I'm pretty sure they did that. And that's a modification of the AI, like the true AI. So while the Mega Drive was a downgrade visually, it kept the core gameplay accurate, and I really appreciated that. I really did.
I believe that it's all the way up to like the 3D games, but realistically, I think it's probably going to be all the games up to 1 and 4 and every port of them.
Yeah.
And then the handheld versions are literally just 1 and 4.
Shut the fuck
in terms of, you know, just a different port.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? But they just advertise that. Well, they could say it's 20 versions of between MK1 and 4. They could just say.
Well, they did. Like, it's literally on the blog post, man, on PlayStation. Yeah, you should be able, like, I don't know. I'm assuming you could see it on the actual console itself, but if not, just load up like the PlayStation, like do a search for it, you know, PlayStation blog, and it'll come up and it'll literally show you. That's 19 games there so far, and they've still got more to come. And it will be the variations. You're right. Like it'll definitely be the variations. Oh, that's behind the scenes. Anyway, no one gives a shit.
Got 20 versions of Mortal Kombat coming. I think that's probably going to sell to people more, isn't it? Think about it.
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah, man!
All right, let's have a look at this thing.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, he's done it.
Launches on PS5 this year.
Cool. There we go.
Okay, at Digital Eclipse, we specialize in restoring historic games for modern consoles. Oh, this is from Digital Eclipse. They're the ones that are doing this. So,
yeah, Chris Kohler, yeah.
Classics, the respect they deserve. Yes, MK definitely needs something like this. Play.
What did I say? To fix the future, you got to go back to the past. 100%, and they're doing it.
With our friends at Warner, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, the Legacy Collection will provide a comprehensive, detailed look at the franchise's history ever assembled. Here's a list of the playable games we've announced so far. More on the way. Oh, okay, this is more on the way, right? So, original MK, so MK1, 2, 3, all these. That's one.
Now, I just thought of it, and I think I might have said it earlier. As like, imagine like they make an expansion pack for the Legacy Collection. So rather than release like 3 different packs, like I've said before, they actually release a 3D era expansion pack that adds on to this. The game is patched, so it's then added into the menus, and it just expands the roster, so it keeps the Legacy Collection as the main front end for all classic MK. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, like that'd be kind of cool. I mean, you know, you could, yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, actually. You know, it keeps it literally all in one package. Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, more on the way. So they're doing Deadly Alliance. They're doing the Game Boy Advance version of it. So what else could they possibly do? They could do...
Say it. Say it.
Trilogy.
Hey, there he goes.
So
Thank you.
Like, this is what we know here, right? So the game's up to 4, up to Deadly Alliance on the Game Boy Advance.
You throw 2 versions of Trilogy in there, you got 21 games. Throwing gold, you got 22. Beautiful. Bellissimo, done. Excellent. Perfect.
Like, there's only so many things you can do between 1 and 4 and Deadly Alliance on the Game Boy, right? So you could do Trilogy.
Yep.
You could do MK Gold.
Yep. There we go. Yep. But you got to have 2 versions of Trilogy.
Really? And more. So
no, you got to have both versions of Trilogy, N64 and one of the other versions.
You think that they'd use and more just to hide Trilogy and MK Gold? I don't think so, because they already said 4. They've already said 3.
No, but people listen. When I was covering the remake stuff, people were screaming, as am I, right? Brick all the way up, baby, for Trilogy to come back. You think about, look at this collection, bro. Like, we're getting MK3 for the first time on a, essentially, so when MK3 came out in a modern system, it was either like, I think, yeah, the PC version, but the main one that was the big one was the PS1 version, right? Now, obviously, they did like collections and shit, but like those, was it the Midway arcade collections or something they did on the PS2 or whatever, on the Xbox? But like, we're talking modern day. Like, we're getting the Capcom collection treatment here. This is, yep, this is insane. This is insane. And not to mention, we're getting MK4. Oh, like the arcade MK4.
So, and more can only really mean they're either going to do like, what's it? Sub-Zero mythologies, which I doubt. Or
they could add in mythologies and special forces, like Sub-Zero mythologies and special forces, just as additional ones. You know how, like, so they added in the Punisher game for the Marvel vs. Capcom collection? You know, like, because they'd already put all the versus games in there, right? Or that sort of, that thematic, you know, in there. And they're like, well, what's the closest we got? Oh, the Punisher, yeah, because he's Marvel. Yeah, okay, all right, we'll throw that in there. Like, listen, fucking Punisher's a great fucking game, but like, you know, they just threw that like as a bonus, right? I don't think it was the main, like, that's not the selling point. So they've got it when they announced Trilogy, right? I'm gonna rub my dick everywhere. They announced Gold. I'll do it again, and then when they announced the other ones, not so much. But I think. I just got a good feeling, man. I think I got a good feeling, dude.
Could do Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, maybe.
No, in another pack. Or an expansion pack. So imagine, like I said, they actually make, you know, an expansion pack for the Legacy Collection. So your Legacy Collection grows to eventually including everything in there. Like from from all sort of eras of Mortal Kombat. That'd be fucking amazing.
Like, if they did Deception, Armageddon, and Deadly Alliance with rollback netcode and online, that would be sick. That would be perfect. MK Unchained, yeah, that's another shout. What other ones are there?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so you've got the standard Xbox PS2 versions. You'd need one of those in there because their roster size is that roster. Then you've got the Wii version, which added in Chameleon. So then that way you got the two versions there. Unless they just want to go, look, this is the best version, so we'll go with the Wii version. Obviously, Deadly Alliance, Deception, Unchained, yeah, and Charlotte Monks, perfect. That'd be perfect.
They'll have more to say later this year, so. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's overall a win. I think a lot of, like, we haven't had something like that for MK since they released the arcade collection, which was just MK 1, 2, and 3 when it UMK 3.
Oh, they didn't even have MK3. They just had Ultimate. And like, you know, like for an arcade, like their arcade collection, they should have at least had MK3 in there, but they never did.
But yeah, that's a win.
Hell yeah,
Just
man.
comment what you reckon, innit?
Yeah, a fucking huge win. Like a huge win, man. Right? This is so fucking, like, this is so cool. Like, this is so cool, man. You know, and it's good to see, like, the excitement. It's good to see the excitement from, you know, from all parts of the community for this. Because I know, like, when I was streaming earlier, Mike called, you know, he wanted to check on my wellness. And I was really appreciative of that. Thank you, my chocolate biscuit. And what happened? It's all right. I'm the vanilla cracker, right? So it's all good. It's all good, right? It's all equal around here. So anyway, and like the thing is, like, you know, for the Tekken guys, or say the Soul Calibur guys, like now it's Namco's turn, right? Because not only do we now know the pathway forward, we are going to get the 3D era games. We are going to get rollback online netcode for them. That's all. I have no shadow of a doubt that's going to happen. and it's going to be the greatest thing of all time. Because while I wasn't a big fan of the combat, it's going to be so much fun playing with the community, playing all of these games with the community. We could have a Game Boy night, right? Sitting there trying to beat the shit out of each other with these crappy ass graphics, crappy controls in Game Boy. That's part of the fun. Like, that's going to be so much fun, right? And then the 3D era, you know, with puzzle combat, chess combat, and motor combat. And then making your own characters, right? In Creator Fighter, and then having a fight night with your very own Creator Fighter going up against other Creator Fighters. Oh my god, just think of it, dude. Just think of how fucking cool it's gonna be to have all this shit, right? It's great. Great video, Foxy. Shout out to him. Alright, guys. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.